What's up, guys? It's your boy Wings of Redemption, and I'm back, and I got a little something to talk with you guys about today, and it's not the gameplay itself. Um, but video games are back in the news today, as a company called 505 Games has created a shooter game, or has a shooter game in the process of being made called Blackwater, which comes in the same vein as like Medal of Honor, where you basically take charge of the Blackwater mercenary group, which is basically like a military group or office in Iraq that basically did military operations for money. And some senator, let me get his name, hold up. I'm sorry, it's not even a guy, it's a woman. Her name is Susan Burke. Apparently Susan Burke was the attorney that, well, I guess I should just go ahead and explain the backstory. What Blackwater did wrong that was so terribly offensive, why they would make this horrible name for themselves, is they ended up killing 17 civilians in Iraq. And they did it as a, son of gun, mercenary for hire type protocol. 17 civilians. That might sound a lot to the naive person like you or me, like, ooh, 17 people. If somebody killed 17 people by themselves with as a serial killer. But this is a military situation. As weapons and stuff got bigger and better, civilian casualties rose up. Do I think that this group should not have a video game made on them because they killed 17 civilians? Who cares? Seriously, that's what you call casualties of war. Even if they shot the civilians out of pure, straight up Angus, you can't do that. You can't stop a video game getting made because of 17 people. If that's the case, alcohol should never be allowed in a movie or video game. Cigarettes should be never allowed in a movie or game. Matter of fact, Big Mac should not be allowed to be commercialized. Because everything kills stuff. I'm sure some motherfuckers been killed with a screwdriver before, and they were innocent civilians. Does that stop, fucking Stanley or, Ace to slap a screwdriver onto the shelf for like $1.50? No. You know why? Because for the most part, that isn't what they were there to do. They were there to uphold and guard things. That's what Blackwater would do. They're mainly guarded. They guarded shit houses. They guarded, installations. They guarded toll booths. And time from time, people got crazy. And how do you decipher someone is crazy versus someone that is not crazy? Especially when you're going up against an area that does not have a standard uniform. You know why uniforms are important in war? So you know who the fuck you're fighting. That's why they're important. If you see a guy in a green jumpsuit, you know that he's American. You know he's your buddy, or he's at least with you. He's on your side. See, you didn't have that luxury if you fight in Iraq. My brother's currently in Iraq, and he will tell you left and right. You don't know who's a civilian or who's got their stab. You don't know who's got a bomb strapped to him. You don't even know anything until you see them start shooting at you. And so what if they kill 17 civilians in like a 10-year period of, the Iraqi war? So what? The United States military has done more than that. The United Kingdom military has done more than that. Even the Canadian military has done more than that. Do you see us, taking out Army Rangers on the next Call of Duty game, Modern Warfare 3? No. Do you see us taking out the United States military on Battlefield 3? No. How about Russia? Why is the Russian military in Battlefield 3? They killed millions of Germans in World War II without cause, raped their women, burnt their house down, killed their children. All these were innocent civilians, so why can't they be took out the game? It's just pointless. All this is a production thing to get her name back in the news. The Blackwater thing happened in 2007. The Susan Burke character got a big name and notoriety in 2007. Well, 505 Games wanted to do a tribute to a mercenary group that actually helped save soldiers' lives. So what did Susan Burke decide to do? Well, I got so much fame from Blackwater before, I'm going to jump on the bandwagon to get it again. That's the whole bullshit right there. That's full frontal, horse in the face bullshit right there. She just wants to get her name back in the media, just like she's doing right now. But just like I'm giving her right now, mass exposure. And she's getting what she wants. But I just wanted to point out people what it actually is. This is why things happen. This is why people go down on Thomas Chong for making glass bongs. This is why, people try to sacrifice other people to move up their career. And that's just the long run of it. And that's all this story is. Do I think 505 Games are evil because they want to create a video game using an existing army group? No, I don't. You know what I think will end up happening? They'll just change the name of the group in game. They'll be like, instead of being a Blackwater, they'll be, I don't know, Blue Water. Instead of Iraq, it'll be like Pakistan or some shit like that. That's all they pretty much got to do. Just some other country that looks like Iraq. And then they'll release it and they'll be unhappy and it'll all blow over and nobody will buy the game because this is the first I've ever heard of the game. And it's annoying. It is. It's straight annoying. Especially when it comes from. It's always a female that does this shit too. It always is. I'm not a sexist or anything, but it's always the females that do this kind of stuff when you give them power. They want to destroy something that's pointless. It's a video game, dude. It's just like. Actually, Medal of Honor got the same thing back in the day when you had the Taliban versus the United States. In the fucking beta of the Medal of Honor, they made him change him to OP4, which means opposing force. And same thing with with Call of Duty. They got the same shit too when they put like Afghanistan or whatever. I mean, the only game I remember seeing with the basic, terrorist kind of thing is Battlefield 2 Modern Combat. They had the Middle Eastern Coalition. I mean, I doubt there's any part of the game itself that actually has you shooting civilians. I mean, even Modern Warfare 2, there's a whole level where all you do is gun down innocent civilians. And I guess people can construe that as, creating serial killers or whatever. But how many serial killers has video games actually created? I mean, video games might push you over the top, but any kind of vocal stimuli or visual stimuli could probably do that to a person that is a serial killer. In my opinion, you're born a serial killer. You don't change into one. You gotta want to be able to kill somebody. You gotta want to. It's part of your inbreed. I mean, it's almost like the alpha male syndrome. Do you think wolves grow up to be alpha males? No, they're born naturally to be the alpha males. They have the alpha male mindset. They have the genes to go with it. They're bigger. They're better than all the other wolves. And I think just like that, wanting to kill other things of your species is just that alpha male mindset. Pretty much helter skelter, a Beatles song has killed more people than video games has. But some reasons you don't hear a Beatles record, getting blasted on the news because you know what? Bitches love Beatles records. That's the truth. I love me a Beatles record too. But females love me some fucking Beatles. They be like, it's the Beatles. It's all fucking pointless. That's what it is. Blackwater, they get a bad rap, but they also paid a lot of freaking money. It gave a lot of people good jobs. You know what else they've done? I don't know. I'm just gonna quit on that. I did go and see Super 8 today as well, and I will be doing some sort of review on that here in a bit. But this gameplay you're looking at right here is just a War God ICP gameplay, which I hopped on and grabbed because for some reason people still think I can't play this game without a full team. I mean, the whole point of the game, the reason I play it with a full team is because it's less frustrating. You gotta do less of this shit, less of that shit. You have to worry less about ghosts and less about people sneaking up on you. I'd rather just have the Blackbird up 24/7 and just pwn the bitches and get the big scores. There's no use to try on this game because the only people that kill you is people like him right there. He would have never beat me with anything but Ghost, and it's the truth. People think, oh, you never talk about where you die, because usually when I die is bullshit. The last two deaths I got shot in the back with Ghost, and then the other guy I hit him like 8 times, and he still for some reason didn't die. But the fact is, at the end of the game, I'm still on the top of the leaderboard. Watch me. I'll probably be up by the leaderboard. Yeah, I'm rocking almost like 1,000 points ahead of the second player guy right now. Got like 8 defends, a cap, and my cap is B. It's not the free cap either. Like there's my 3rd death. You get a fucking RPG to the face. Yeah, it's your boy Wings of Redemption, and I'm out. Quit hating on Blackwater. Quit hating on video games in general. There's a baby where there's an indie game where you see how far you can shoot a baby out of a pussy. Blackmail that. Serious.